Hey guys, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I got a video here I'm hoping some of you guys are going to enjoy, and it's going to be about me discussing my 3 Grail watches. So first off, let's discuss what a Grail watch is, in case anyone out there doesn't know what that actually means. A Grail watch, at least in my opinion, is going to be something that it's going to be a watch that you can't immediately just go out and just purchase. So it's something that you work your way up to. So for instance, you could start saving money for this particular watch, just setting money aside, or you could sell watches out of your current collection to make some money to pay for it, or trade up or trade down. But it's the core of the term is going to be a watch that you, of course, desire, but you just can't immediately go out and purchase. And what I've done with this is I've broken the watches, I'm going to talk about 3 here, into 3 categories. So let me pull up a little document here that I typed up, and you'll see that I've got them listed as dress watch, an EDC/dive watch, and then the last category being a beater watch. And the first one I'm going to talk about is going to be the dress watch. So I've got these bulletin points here with certain items that I require. So let me just quickly read through these, and you'll see kind of what I'm looking for out of my in the dress watch category as my Grail. So the first one here, I mentioned the watch has to be able to dress up with a nice leather strap, but also be able to be worn during the work week as a casual watch on a NATO or a bracelet. So what that means, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I want to have a watch that, obviously is going to work good and look good with a suit and tie, but it's also going to be able to run on a NATO strap, and I could just wear it, when I'm on a date with my wife, or going to a nice like a work meeting or something like that. But it needs to be very versatile. I want it to be able to not look out of place, though, wearing a suit and tie. So that's the first point. The second one here has to be durable and has to have at least 100 meters of water resistance. And for me, some of you guys may not require this, but I do. I'm pretty rough on my watches. I work here at Heart of Texas Armory, and I manufacture AR-15s. So I'm dealing with heavy equipment, CNCs, and then at home, I'm always banging my watch against things. This is always happening. So if I'm going to spend some money on a really nice watch, it's got to be durable. So that's definitely important to me. The next one here, I require it to be an automatic watch. And I think that's important, particularly with a dress watch. I have no problem with quartz watches. In fact, I prefer them in some situations. But as a dress watch, I think all dress watches, I think, almost have to be automatics. They just, seeing a quartz action on a shiny watch, when you're wearing a suit and tie or something like that, to me, it just looks out of place. There's something about having a quality built timepiece on your wrist when you're wearing nice clothes, at a nice dinner or something like that. It really, to me, you really need an automatic. So I definitely require that. I also want a date complication. Some of y'all may not want that, but I always constantly check the date on my watches. In fact, I probably check it more than the time. So a date complication is a must for me. And then another bulletin here, it has to be from a quality watch company with heritage and history. So again, as a dress watch, you're going to be spending some money on it. I just would prefer to have the watch be from a company that has heritage and history as well. And then the last thing here, I want to stay under $2,000. Now, obviously you can get dress watches that cost $20,000, but to me, I have no desire to own one that costs that much. One, I don't have the money to do it right now, and 2, I don't think I ever would care to have a watch that valuable on my wrist. I'm perfectly happy, and there's a lot of great choices under the $2,000 price point. So that's what I require, and what I ended up going with was this watch here, which is a Ball Engineer 2 Marvel Light. So you can see it kind of looks similar to a Rolex, maybe like a Milgauss, or I think it's just their Oyster watch, but that's the kind of style I was going for. And you can see this watch would look amazing with the suit and tie. And then also you can down dress it and put it on a NATO strap, and it looked fine during the work week. So here's a better look at the watch. It comes with a stainless steel bracelet, and I would just buy a nice leather strap. That way I could also wear that with it. And you can see they have different dial colors. So they got the black, they've got the blue, they've got a dark kind of grayish sunburst, and looks like a silver sunburst. And the one that I would pick would be this blue one. I really like blue dialed watches, and particularly on a dress watch. To me, they just really pop. So I would either pick this one or possibly this silver faced one, but I'm almost positive that I'll probably go with the blue one here, blue dial. So let's quickly kind of go over some of the features that this thing has. So it does have an automatic movement, and as I'm talking about these watches too, I'm going to be bringing up some pictures showing some different angles of this watch, so you don't have to just stare at just this particular picture here that's on the website. But this watch does come with a automatic movement. It's a Ball RR1103 is what the movement reference number is. And as far as I can tell, it's an ETA movement, which I don't really mind that. To me, I actually prefer that, because I don't want some type of exclusive movement in my watch where if something goes wrong with it, or if it needs to be serviced, I got to send it only to so-and-so, and it's going to cost $1,000 to service it. The ETA movements are well known throughout the industry, and just about any watch shop or any type of shop that does maintenance on watches will be able to work on an ETA movement. Another cool thing about these balls is that all their watches come with tritium dials. So all these embassies here, as well as the hands, are going to be lit up using tritium, which you should be seeing a picture of that too. It really pops. It's way brighter than even the best lume. Say like a Seiko lume, Lumabrite. The tritium is just going to be a lot brighter. I think I saw it's 10 to 15 times brighter than the Seiko Lumabrite. So that's important to me. I think it just looks cool. And so in low light situations, you're instantly able to see the time without having to worry about how good is your lume. It's always going to be readable. Plus, like I mentioned, it just looks cool. The only negative with that is, being tritium, it has a half-life, so I believe Ball says you need to replace these after about 25 years. And I think most people replace them at around 15 to 20, but that's plenty of time for me. If I can get away 20 years out of a watch without having to replace those tritium dials, that's acceptable for me. And the advantage is you never have to worry about charging your lume, because it's always going to be bright. Here you'll see it's got a date complication, which I wanted. Now it has a magnifier on there. If I did end up buying this watch, which I am trying to save up for right now, I would probably remove that if it's possible. I always prefer my watches without a magnifier. Now, the Ball, their magnifiers aren't as pronounced as, say, like a Rolex or something like that, but it does have a magnifier, and that is sort of a negative, but I'll deal with that when I purchase the watch. You'll see here it has a very high shock resistance of 5,000 Gs, so that's important. So it's going to take drops or bangs without any problems. Your water resistance of 100 meters, which is what I was looking for. It has a very high anti-magnetic rating, which is important. That keeps the watch accurate even when you expose it to like a magnetic field. You'll see the case is stainless steel. The size is just about perfect what I want in a dress watch. So 40 millimeter case is perfect. The thickness of 13 millimeters is pretty good. I would have preferred maybe a 12, but 13 is still fine. It'll fit under a long sleeve shirt just fine. It's got 20 millimeter lugs, which is acceptable for a dress watch in my opinion. And then you've got a lug to lug measurement of 46 millimeters, so not too big. To me, it's the perfect size for a dress watch, so that's excellent. You've got a screw down crown, a screw down case back. You know, with that 100 meter water resistance rating, that's pretty much a necessity, but that's a bonus for me. It does come with a stainless steel bracelet here, and it has a folding buckle, which I believe is like that butterfly clasp look. But so this watch here is the one that I would pick, and the price on this, I think it's an excellent price point at around $1,700. I've seen them as cheap as $1,400 and as high as $2,000, you know, depending on where you buy it online. But to me, that is a lot of watch for the money. Quality-wise, I think it's just as good as watches that cost 3 to 4 times as much, in my opinion. So you get a lot of watch for your money. I really like that seconds hand. I don't know if you can see that little mark, the little logo there. That's really cool. Very elegant looking watch. It'll dress up nice and also wear casually. And Ball, I mean, they make awesome watches, and they have a really good history and heritage to their brand. And I'll probably provide a link down below where you can read up on their history if you want. In fact, you could just go to their website here, and I think they have company. If you click on company, you see it talks about the heritage of the watch. You know, they're very important, very pivotal role in the railroad industry. A lot of their watches are marketed toward that. Okay, so that's my dress watch pick, and that again is the Ball Engineer 2 Marvelite. So next up, let's go down to my EDC watch, or and by here I have a dive watch listed, and what I mean is that, you know, it just needs to be an everyday watch, and I don't really mean C. That should be everyday wear, everyday wear watch. But I want it to have the style of a dive watch. You know, that's important. To me, dive watches are my favorite style of a watch. So if it's something I'm going to be wearing, you know, 5 to 6 days out of the week, it's got to be something that I really like. So dive watch is what I'm looking for. So here's what I want on it. I want at least 200 meters of water resistance. I want a case size of between 40 millimeters and 42. I want a lug to lug of no more than 48, so 48 millimeters or under. It's got to have good lume. It's got to have a date complication. I would, you know, quartz or auto's fine with this category. Needs to be able to resist magnetism. That way it stays accurate. And I want to stay under $2,000 on this one as well. Needs to have a sapphire crystal. And I would prefer drilled lugs if possible. And this one being an EDC watch, it needs to be a strap monster. So it's got to look good on everything. Even, you know, something that's not even, you know, just like a sports event or something like that, it needs to look good. So using all those bulletin points, what I came up with, and this is another watch that I have been desiring for many years, and it's a Sin. And it's the 104 STSA1W, W standing for the white. So you can see this watch here. To me, it covers all those bulletin points that I was listing. Some of the specs on this one, you're looking at a case size of 41 millimeter, which is just perfect for me. That's my absolute favorite case size. I have a 7-inch wrist, and the 41 I found, to me, looks the best in my opinion, and wears the best. So I'm really pleased that this is 41 millimeters. You have a lug to lug of 46.5, so fairly short, so it's not going to overhang your wrist, and those lugs also curve down nicely, so it's going to contour your wrist and wear really nice. And then you have a lug width here of 20 millimeters, which is perfectly fine. 20 millimeter and 22 are my personal favorites. So you've got sapphire glass here on this thing, which is nice. You've got the day and date complication, which is nice. I actually don't even own a watch that has a day complication, so that would be really cool. This has a rotating bezel, although it's kind of in the style of a pilot watch, but it would work just as fine as a traditional dive watch. Let's see, it's rated to 200 meters water resistant, or 20 bar, which is nice. Stainless steel case, of course, screw down crown, screw down case back. It's going to do everything I need. I mean, I really like the look of it. It's a German-made watch, which is important to me. I have German heritage, so I've always wanted to own a high-quality German-made watch, and this would let me do that. The only negative that I would mention, I wish it had, I wish it had drilled lugs. So this watch does not have drilled lugs. It's not the end of the world, but I would have really preferred this watch to have that. I mean, this is a tool watch, and it would have been nice to have that. It also has, here's a side view of it here for you guys. So you can see that real nice coin bezel. It's got a slight dome on the crystal, but it's not as domed as some watches, but it's not flat either, which is really nice. Here's the case back, so you can see it's got a decorative case back here. We'll keep going around here. There's the lume shot, so it has really good lume. It's going to be comparable with, you know, like your Seikos and stuff. It's going to last all night, so you don't have to worry about the lume failing. Let's see if there's any other things we want to mention. Technical details. It's got a high beat, 28,000 per hour movement, so it's a automatic movement that's self-winding, of course. Let's see, it's anti-magnetic, which is important. I had that as a bulletin point. I mean, this, to me, it's just an excellent watch. And the price point on this, believe it or not, you can pick these up for under $1,200. I think most of them are between $1,100 and $1,300. And I think that really offers an amazing value as well, just like my dress watch choice. This Zen here is just an incredible value. If I bought this watch, I don't think I would ever upgrade over this. You know, I don't need a Rolex that costs $10,000. This does everything the Rolex does. It's just as accurate, and to me, it actually looks better. I think the Submariner is a beautiful watch, but to me, this is a better looking watch. I don't know what it is. And again, that's just personal preference, but like I mentioned, if I bought this, I probably would never need to upgrade over this for a dive watch in the dive watch category. Any other things you want to mention with this? It comes with that beautiful leather strap, which is a nice bonus. It's a really high quality strap with genuine leather. But this thing looks amazing on NATO straps. Looks amazing on bracelets. Just a true strap monster. And just an incredible watch for the money, high quality. It's just an excellent watch. So this would be my choice for the everyday wear / dive watch category. So the last one here is going to be my beater watch, and by beater watch I just mean something that's you're not afraid to beat up, you know, bash around, or if it gets destroyed or lost, you know, you're not going to shed any tears because you didn't have a whole lot of money invested into it. So here's what I require on this category. Must be reliable and keep reasonable good time. Needs to be low maintenance and easy to service. Needs to be shock resistant and durable. 200 meter water resistant. Must be unique and also look good. I'd like a date complication. And I would consider either quartz or automatic in this. Don't really care. If it is automatic, though, it needs to be easy to regulate that automatic movement. And then, you know, I don't want to spend more than $500 on this watch. So what did I choose on this category? Well, it's actually a watch that I already own. So it's going to be a Vostok. It's a Vostok Amphibia, and it's going to be the 710 K style. So you'll be seeing a video popping up of my actual watch that you know, fits this category. So I actually own the beater watch, and it's perfectly, you know, it does everything I need for a beater watch. It's an automatic watch, but it keeps good time. I mean, this one here that I've got, which is a, you know, the Scuba Dude, the famous Vostok Scuba Dude, is about plus 10 seconds a day, which is very accurate. And you can regulate these things really easily. You just open up the case back. There's a little lever inside there, and you just barely move it one way or the other to, you know, slow it down or speed up the movement. So very easy to regulate them. Maintenance is no problem with these things. If you did break something on it, there's parts available everywhere for them, and they're cheap. You can go to marinome.com, which we'll just quickly go to that. So here's marinome.com, and if you go to amphibian category here, spare parts, you'll see, I'm going to just put it to 100 display. You'll see all these parts here that you can order, so you can get movements. So for instance, this watch, the movement in it is a 24/16, so there's a, if you had to replace the whole movement, only costs $40. Very easy to do that. You can get straps, you can get replacement crowns, hands, dials, there's case backs, different bezels, and this is just Marinome. You could go to eBay and find, a lot more stuff, but it just shows you parts are available for these things. Now, if you order from Marinome, there's a little bit of wait time because you're getting it shipped from Russia, typically 2 to 4 weeks probably, unless you pay for upgraded shipping. But there's just, look at all the, there's tons and tons of different customizable parts you can get this, or replacement parts. Down from, like I mentioned, you have dials here. There's a cool Scooby-Doo dial. There's the dial that I have. All these are available. You can even get new cases. So everything is available here for you guys, and they're all reasonably priced. So the dimensions on the 710 Vostok is going to be 41 millimeter case diameter, which is perfect for me. You got a 22 millimeter lug width for your straps, and lug to lug of only 45 meters. So it's kind of a squarish case style. They call it the ministry case, but what that leads to is just it just wears so well on just about anyone's wrist. You could probably wear this on this particular watch, even with that 22 millimeter strap size and the 41 millimeter case. Someone that had, like I say, a 6.5 inch wrist, I think they'd be able to pull it off just fine. Very versatile watch. Vostoks are durable. Obviously, the water resistance on these is rated at 200 meter. I've seen videos of them going to 700 meters before they fail. So extremely water resistant. Excellent watch. Has heritage. It looks unique. It's just a really great watch for the money. And these things, you can see the price right there. New is $70, and you can buy them on eBay even cheaper than that. And if you find a used one, you can get them for under $40. If you're patient, you can purchase plenty of Vostoks for between $20 and $40. So, but the main thing with this is it doesn't cost a lot of money. It does everything that I need a watch to do. So it's got date complication. It keeps reasonably good time. It's durable, and they look good. And you can modify them and have fun doing that. So it's just the perfect beater watch for me. Another watch that I almost considered, I also own, and it's a Phoebus 300 meter quartz watch, and I'll show you a picture of that too. But I think I prefer this Vostok over that Phoebus. Both of them are excellent, and you could also go, say, like a Casio G-Shock or something like that. But I just prefer the traditional look of a watch like this over a G-Shock. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and it didn't bore you guys. And I'd like to know y'all's Grail watches. So if you've got 3 watches you're saving up for or working toward, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd be very interested to find out what you guys are looking at for your Grail watches. So once again, this is Neil at Heart of Texas Armory, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.